Hey guys. I'm working on some lighting issues over here. So bear with me here a little bit. I have one plug that's not wanting to work. I don't know why. Let me fix it. This is how you fix it. Plug them in. Can't do it. That's how you fix it. So, hey guys. Sorry, I'm a little dark now, but it is what it is. This wonderful little camera on the computer does not do that great of a job. Hey Rob, how are you? Figured I'd go live and then jump over to your stream real quick. But I'm having like spaghetti for dinner. And of course, fruitcake. Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope you and Sarah had a great Christmas. Awesome. So hopefully I won't be here for very long and then I'll just jump over to yours. Hey, Amanda. Hello. Very cool. We got lots of stuff to talk about today. Lots of stuff. So I will wait till a lot of people start popping in. Oh, hi, Aisha. My gosh, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Good to see you. It was nice that you got to pop in. I was going to do this in the barn, but it got too cold. And all the horses they're elsewhere. So they were in the barn earlier. I don't think they're in there now. Where's oops, that's the run-in. Let me see the Geldings Club. I don't know where they are now. I got the app on my phone. Let's see. They were over at the hay bale. Now, Rob, how many people are you going to have on your live? How many have expressed an interest to do your little New Year's Eve, New Year's Day live thing? Because, then nobody's in the barn. Look, no one's in the barn. Go figure. I wonder what they're doing. They're being outside. It's windy. So we moved the back 40 camera that used to be over in the back running way in the back. But we moved it up into an area here closer to the house so we can see more of everything. And it's in the sun. And would you guess the battery is dead? But it's at 12%. So just about sent out a few mails. Oh, okay. Very good. Awesome, Rob. Well, there they are. Let's see. This is a really kind of neat little thing here. Where are they? I don't know. Well, they're around here somewhere. I'll check another little later. But hopefully you guys all had a great Christmas and a wonderful New Year yesterday and today during the day. We ended up doing stuff around the place. Tomorrow is putting away some Christmas. Most of Christmas stays up until after the 6th of January. Don't ask me why that date. That's just always been the date that I've kept my Christmas up. But I've started to take down like all my Christmas cards and our stockings and stuff like that we took down. But the nativity set stays up and my little tiny tree that stays up and all my guys over here. All my little, those guys, they all stay up. They're going to stay there. They're cute. I like them. But, all right. So there's 5 of you. Okay, I know there's Rob, there's Aisha, there's Amanda. Who else is in here? Post up your little comment thing. Let me know who you are. Because that would be Fantastic. Got a couple things that we're going to address today. Mostly it's going to be Monday. And you all, I know you all were amazing on saving Monday. And it was because we couldn't. So I have massive kudos to you. You guys all did such a great job. You already know all that. But as everybody knows, this is an ongoing thing. So I'm here and we're going to talk about the cost of owning a horse. Now, Aicha, you don't apply because you get 3. So everybody who doesn't know Aicha, her screen name is Aicha and Khan. And I used to board with her a very long time ago. And Khan was her very first thoroughbred. You have to make sure that I'm right on this. But she brought Khan to the barn. And you want to know how much a draft cross? How about 6 of your horses, Aicha? She says she wants to know how much a draft cross. So that is Khan right there with her. And she rides English like I do. But she does a lot more than I do with English. Mine is more English trail riding and she is more English dressage more because these guys can't do dressage. Although I have seen a halflinger do dressage. That'd be kind of fun. So let's see. I'm going to go through all these little notes real quick. Okay. So first things first is they eat a lot. Horses eat a ton. So I'm going to back up to when you all sprung in. You all came together and paid his fee and it was crazy expensive. Well, $750, and then gas to get up there to Ohio and back. And that was crazy, but that's just the beginning. So that was just the beginning. And then he's got an angel and she knows who she is. She's over in the UK and whatever she's doing over there is amazing. And she sent us another rather nice sum to handle all of his vetting and to get him stocked up so we can carry him through over into the winter. So what some of you guys have seen, snippets on our Facebook page, a couple of posts on the community section of our YouTube channel. We haven't updated our SFD-horses website yet, and I am so sorry about not updating that because it's just been, I'm sure you understand, it's just been crazy as far as, holidays and job searching and everything else that we got going on. I have not updated the store yet, but I did actually put a couple other little pieces of merchandise in there and it says happy day and stuff like that. So the plan, and you all know how plans go. They tend to go like that. Is we're going to get some sweatshirts and some little bit of swag here. And that way we can promote it to you guys. And we want to see the quality of it. Because right now I have upstairs on my desk a coaster, the SFD-horses coaster. And it's really awesome. And I've never paid $5 for a coaster in my whole entire life, ever. And I thought it was just insanely expensive. I was like, why am I spending $5 for one coaster? And it's not even like stone and it's not nice. But when I got it, it's really thick and it's super heavy duty and it's got a giant cork on the back and it's limited on the top. It's very, very nice. It is very worth the money. So I'm happy with that. But that's in there in the store too. And just as a reminder that the profits that we make off of the merchandise that we sell in the store goes straight to the barn and it goes to the farm and the nonprofit because that's the way it needs to be. That's the law for our nonprofit organization. So, okay, so let's get rid of that. For those who need to know our email address, feel free to write us all the time. That's our email address. And if you want to make any type of PayPal donations, it's at 15handstag, that part right there, .com. So All of your gifts, unfortunately, are not tax deductible because we are not a 501c3, but we are a North Carolina registered nonprofit. So we still have to pay taxes on your gifts. So just to let you know, we're paying taxes. A lot of them. So there's our email address right there. And coming up is the 15handstack@gmail.com. So I'm going to leave that there for a little bit as we go through all this. But I have a ton of things that I've already put through to show you guys. So let's just jump right in, I guess. He is doing amazing. I'll just give you a quick little rundown of on the 28th, which was his veterinary appointment. And he was there first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, getting his toes done. And we set him up in the stocks. No, we set him up in the cross ties. And I wonder if I have a pic. No, I don't have a picture on the computer. I did not set myself up. Hold on. I got it here. I'll show you. Because I know some of you might have seen it and some of them you might not have. But as he's in the cross ties, he was being so goofy. He was yawning. So do I have... Oh, and he got into the trash. Yeah, my horse, your horse, whatever. That horse got into the trash. So he was in the trash. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. So let's see. Let's go back. Okay, so I don't know. Did I do a video on that? So this is heading up into his first thing in the morning. Oops, that's Yoda. And that was him right as we got to the clinic, which was really super nice. No, don't delete it. Can I do it that way? There we go. It's a little better. So it was really super foggy and it was really pretty that day. And there's him. He's in the cross ties. Let me see if I can try to get this so it... I think that's about as good as it's going to get. And then, of course, we were taking pictures of his feet because I needed to get before pictures and after pictures. So that's kind of what they look like beforehand. And they look pretty crappy. Very flat. Look, his heels are way down here. This is his heels here. They should be back here. This should be more upright up here. And this heel bulb should be more rounded. This is very flat and pretty awful. So, and that's I think it's a rear foot. Try doing this on your phone. So that's the rear side. So we ended up having to put him in the stocks because our farrier, he had a lot of growth on him. And even though he could pick up his feet, he picks up his feet, all four of them. There was just too much there for him to use his nippers and stuff. He needed to use the power tools. So there was this lady there. She, let me look at the comment real quick. Amanda, we're talking about Monday right now. We're talking about Monday. So all these pictures, these are Monday. But he's doing great. He is doing fantastic. But if we can just get the go button to go straight, I mean, you cluck at him, you kiss at him, and he goes backwards. So we're trying to figure out his straight button, how to make him go straight without whacking him or something like that. So this was his farrier visit. And there was a lady there. That's where I was going with this. She is from Ecuador. And she was there because her husband is doing an internship. Now, Davie County Large Animal Hospital does interns from all over. I mean, if you're a veterinarian, you want to do an internship here in the States, you can go there and they'll do it. It's great. So she's a lawyer. She's 23 years old. She's a lawyer in Ecuador. And it was really cool talking to her and everything because I guess English is a second language to them. And she's just really sweet. So she took some video and some pictures and shared them with me. So that was really super sweet. So I'm not sure if this will come across or anything, but so So he's in there and he's doing amazingly well. And this was, well, you can hardly see, but this is after. But he did really, really fantastic. Let me see if I can find any more pictures of after. Oops, that was before. I'm sorry. I went the wrong way. So here's another one. So he does use the hand grinders, those big, just angle grinders, and he's just like chilled out. I mean, Friday flips out. Not really flips out, but he doesn't like it. Let me see here. Come on, play. But he did really good. He did fantastic. And then, of course, we had to do the other side. He's just hanging out there. He's just hanging out. He's just being good. But that was his end reaction to the whole thing. He didn't like it. But he did fantastic. So normally it's going to be $75 to get his feet done because he stands on his own. But because of this particular time, it costs $100 to get that done. So then after that, we brought him into the main aisleway where we weighed him, and he's gained 70 pounds. So within the 2 weeks that he's been here, he's gained 70 pounds. So he's 1,570 now instead of just 1,500 pounds. And he is literally 17.2. Where is it? I thought I took, yes, I did. So here's a measuring stick. This is what they use to measure horses. And you put this little black piece right on the top of the highest point of their withers. And if this stops making it, okay, so there you go. There's 17. I hope you can see it. Come on, there you go, 17. And then there's a line, and then there's another one, and that's 17 too. So he's exactly 17.2, hands high. And this little guy, while we were waiting for the veterinarian, he's getting into the trash. We were waiting for the vet to come back with the results of his test. And he was like in the trash. He's like looking at something. I'm like, what are you doing? And he nearly knocked it over. So he was being a goofball. He's got such a personality, you guys. I mean, you've done really good rescuing this guy. I can't believe that somebody would have thrown those back tags on him and put him into slaughter, because he's just the coolest dude. All right, so Bill, this was the whole thing. It was a lot, but his angel took care of it. So this is paid. Okay, so let's get rid of this ticker here, because we're going to start going over the bill. And it's all backwards, but it's all of that stuff. So it's Coggins test and a Coggins test. Okay, what is Coggins? Coggins is a blood test that checks for a blood condition. Now, I don't know exactly the words for it or exactly the medical name for it. I don't know. But it's really not good. And if your horse comes up positive for it, then, they can put down every horse in there, then retest it, find out who's positive, and then they put the horse down. So having a positive Coggins is really bad. His is negative. So the Coggins test, let's see, Coggins test is $50 just to pull blood. And the test itself is only as good as the blood that's been drawn at that very second. Since it is transmitted by mosquitoes, the horse could get bit by a mosquito right there in the veterinarian's office and, test positive at a second draw. So there's a lot of mixed feelings on Coggins, but, it's the law and we have to do it. And if you don't have a current Coggins, they're good for a year, then you pretty much can't go anywhere. You can get stopped on the highway for it. You can get stopped at a state park for it. If you're transporting anywhere or you're anywhere in a public place, another barn, they're going to want it. I want it. If you're bringing your horse onto my property and I don't know who you are and I've never seen you before, or maybe you're just a friend of a friend of a friend, I'll take your friend's word for it. But if you're boarding with me, I need a Coggins because it's very, very bad. Okay, so that was 50, and then we had a health evaluation, and that was 70. That's just to make sure that he's good, that his bones are straight, and he's not bleeding from anywhere, and he just flexes, all his limbs move, and he's not like got these weird bulbs out anywhere, or or he doesn't have anything that looks abnormal. So she does a quick evaluation that way, and that's $70. Then he gets his vaccines. Once he gets a free, clean bill of health, and that he's not fighting any infections or anything, he gets his vaccines. So before we did that, because he had that snooty nose and he's been on antibiotics, although she did say I was giving him 12 every day, twice a day. She says that he could have probably had 15 and it would have been okay. But after we stopped his antibiotics, his nose started getting all goopy again. So then now we're thinking, oh my gosh, there's this gland that's like right here, that's at the base of their skull. And sometimes it can get irritated and a lot of goop can get in there and like it can like swell up really bad, kind of like mumps on people. And it's very expensive to take care of. So I was worried about that. And then I was worried that his sinuses were all clogged up. And then we thought maybe it was a rotten tooth. So this is how much of a gentleman Monday is. I'm telling you guys. She sticks her hand in his mouth, like right on the side, because you can do that. They have bars where there's no teeth. And that's where the bit sits. So you can stick your hand in there and they're not going to bite you. But, you don't want to stick your hand in a horse's mouth. But anyway, she stuck her hand right in the side of his mouth and grabbed his tongue and pulled it out. So now he's like, she's got his tongue hanging out and he's like, and she sticks her hand in the other side of his mouth and he opens his mouth way wide. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can see everything in here. And she's looking at his mouth and he does need a teeth float just a little bit. And she says she's got a few points, but his teeth are really ground down, meaning he's old. We all knew that. But he's like just got his mouth wide open. She's like, okay, dude, you're great. This is wonderful. You're opening your mouth a lot wider than a lot of other horses would have done. Yeah, one bright light. I know it is pretty useless, but I agreed. It's all about the money. So she smelled in his mouth to see if maybe he had an abscess tooth or rotten tooth. And if anybody's ever had an abscess tooth or a rotten tooth or something that's, you need medical attention to your mouth, it stinks. It's gross. She goes, his breath smells fine. The only stinky part is in his nose. That really sour, smelly, pungent bacteria smell. So she says, it's not in his mouth. We can't figure this out. So she's like banging on his head. She's like knocking on his head, like knock, knock. And then she's knocking and she's knocking down by his nose and everything is hollow. And what she's doing is she was testing if his sinuses were clogged up, which would make, because horses' ducts are not here where ours are, they're in their nose. They have this really, really long ductwork and it comes out the inside of their nose. It's kind of neat. So that's why they have goopy noses, because it's in their sinuses. And the ones that weep on their eyes, it's because their sinuses are so clogged up. It's got nowhere else to go. It can't all come out because it's clogged. So it comes out the kind of the nose. The eyes. So there is a little bit of information for you. So since we couldn't figure out what it was, they have this infection test that they do. And that's $60. And I don't care. It could be $160, but it is an invaluable test to do. I don't know what it's called. They put it on the paperwork as a stable lab, SAA, and it's got a 1H in parentheses. So I'm not really sure what it is, but what it does is it's a blood test. It takes about 8 minutes to process. And it has a spectrum of 0 to 1,000. And if it's 1 to 500, 1 to 500, he has inflammation somewhere. Don't know where, but he's got inflammation. It could be inside his gut. It could be a hock. It could be whatever. It could be on his neck. Somewhere there's inflammation. And then from 501 through 1,000, it is infection. And that way, when we get all our horses, the first thing we do is we bring them to the vet and we have this test done. That way we can have an idea, okay, do we have inflammation somewhere or do we have an infection somewhere? And he was 0. And I don't know if it was the antibiotics. I'd like to get him tested again in another 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, to see if maybe the antibiotics was still doing its job and it like cut everything. But the good part is his nose is cleared up and he doesn't stink so much. So I don't know. I think it's working, but that test was $60. It came back as 0. He has no inflammation and obviously no infection. So we went ahead and gave him his vaccines. And he got his rabies, his tetanus, his East and West Nile encephalitis vaccine. So some of them will do a 6-way, but this is just a 4-way. The other 2 that like rhino and there's this other one, I don't know what it's called. That's if you're going to shows and a lot, you kind of need it, or if you're going out into the public a lot. But we're a closed barn, and where we go, there's not a lot of other horses, so we are not at a high risk for that type of infection. Now, next year, if we're going to be out and about, or even in the summer a little bit more, then we'll give them a booster with a 6-way. But that was $81 for all of those. The rabies itself was $23. And the West Nile and WEE, that's the East and West Nile encephalitis, that's WEE and EEE. That's $58. So it turned out to be $81 altogether. So as we're waiting and trying to figure out all this stuff, we get the Coggins test, we have a medical evaluation, we get our infection, we have all our vaccines. So now we should be good. We should be good. But she charges us $70 for the medical evaluation. So we've got $50 for the Coggins, $70 for the health evaluation, $81 for all the vaccines, and $60 for the blood test, and it was $100 for the farrier. So the total bill, just to get him partially vetted, because I would have preferred to have him sedated and have her maybe float his teeth, since she did say he had some points. So that's another $180, I think it is. But $361 just to get him vetted, so the vet goes, okay, you are okay to put him in with the other horses after 2 weeks of being in quarantine by himself. So that was that. And we paid $77.25 in fuel between going to the veterinarian and going to pick up feed and grain and so forth. So this is all money that we spent from the account that you all donated for. So I want to be 100% transparent with you guys, and this is what I'd like to do mostly on a monthly basis, is to kind of give you guys a rundown as to how much money that we've spent that you've donated. That way you know where it's going. I mean, heck, I hate sending money to other people and going, okay, did they get it? Or do I get a thank you? Or, what are they doing with it? Type thing. And since we don't get thousands and thousands of donations, it's easier to track and it's easy to do this. So where did the rest of it go? Well, the rest of it went there to feed, bedding, a halter. He has his own halter. He had his own grooming kit. He needed to have his own grooming kit when he was separated because we needed to make sure he was okay. I bought knife removal kit. Now this sounds very frivolous and simple, but he was covered in bot eggs. Now, bot eggs are these little, well, bot flies. They look like little bees. And I'm going to pull one up for you so you can see it. Bot fly. They are annoying, and they are just like these awful things. Oh, I suppose that could be it. They look like these giant bombers, but they kind of like just dip on a horse and they lay their eggs. So you see these little itty bitty white, yellow things, and they hatch into things that look like that. And they burrow down into the skin, and then this whole thing grows and it creates this awful abscess thing, and then it hatches out and it's disgusting. Or what happens is, as they're starting to hatch, they wiggle in their eggs and the horses will bite and they'll swallow them. And then you have these teethy things, these nasty teethy things attaching to the inside of the horse's stomach. And then that's what they look like when they get pooped out. And then once they get to be that big, they get pooped out and they hatch into bot flies, and the whole thing starts all over again. It is awful. It is disgusting. And Jarvis was covered in them. Now that's how big they are. I mean, they're just awful. I hate showing these pictures. Now this is on my Google. Thank you. So to get these knives, the little bot eggs, they're sticky. They stick on each hair. And if you scrape them off, it's like using a serrated part of a knife. You scrape them off. And if you do it in the barn where they're going to eat the eggs. So you have to do it in a place like out on the road or in a driveway, or, some place where your horse is not going to be eating anything off the ground to ingest these eggs. And we have a couple of them at our house, and every spring I'm sitting there just scraping them all off. He's had them everywhere. He had them all on his arms. He had them down his legs. He had them all over his belly. He even had them on his neck. So wherever he was just bombarded with these little bees everywhere. So we want to get those things off. So we ended up buying two bot egg removal knives, and they're only $3 a piece. And then we did get one really cute thing, because we all want to make sure that, he's kind of spoiled. And we went on Etsy, and they haven't come in yet. And I'm actually rather aggravated about it. But they have these cute little tags, and I bought a copper one for him, and it says Friday, Monday on it. So, so those are all the bedding. And this is what we got just to kind of get him ready. His bedding, we use straw. Let me see a comment here real quick. We have them here at our new property a lot. I had to do mine every day for a while, and of course deworm them because of that. Exactly. Yeah. Because you never know. They're still going to be itching, because the bots like it down by the fetlocks and stuff. They like it to be there because they don't like swat away. So when a horse goes down and they start to nibble by where that chestnut is, that's a bunny. I'll get back to that later. So when they start biting at that chestnut area, they ingest some of them from the hair. So yeah, you have to make sure you use a wormer with a bot side in it too. Good comment, Aija. Thank you for that. So we use straw for our bedding. We don't use shavings. Shavings dries out hooves. It's not very fluffy, and it's not very comfortable. Yeah, Amanda. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. They're awful. So our straw needs to be refreshed every so often, and it costs $8 a bale. And right now we need 6 bales. And I have, let's see, how much money do we have in our account right now? You guys are looking at, let me pull up my PayPal account here. All right. This is how much money that we have right now, $42.16, $49.16. So we're going to be buying some straw tomorrow and replace some of the bedding. That way they have nice, soft, clean bedding. I hate stinky, poopy filled bedding. So we're going to get some of that. And then of course, feed. One bag of his feed lasts for 6 days, and that's $27 a bag. He gets alfalfa pellets that we soak. You guys have seen the alfalfa in our other video. That is $32 a bag, and one bag lasts a month. Thank God. Thank God. That's so expensive these days. Oh my gosh. And that way we don't have to feed alfalfa hay. But speaking of alfalfa hay, we found some alfalfa with prebiotics in it, and it's fermented alfalfa. Alfalfa. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Bag. Fermented alfalfa hay. Let's try that. Tractor Supply has it for $20 a bag. And I don't have a picture of it. Okay. But it's a big bag, and when you open it up, it stinks. Oh my God, does it stink to high heavens? Because it's alfalfa. Hi, Lori. Oh, hello. Happy New Year to you. Great. I'm glad you got to pop in. We're just going over some finances. We're talking about things that will always get couples into an argument, and that is money about horses. And we're talking about right now, we are at our chopped alfalfa with prebiotics. We're here. So we open it up. I'll take a picture of it, and I'll put it in the comments on our YouTube channel. And it's just chopped alfalfa, and it's very high quality alfalfa, but it's got some oils in it and omega-3s and prebiotics, and it has been amazing for these guys. I just give them like 2 or 3 handfuls, and I throw it in there, and I mix it all up in their bucket, and it's stinky, but they love it, and it's keeping them very, very healthy. Their poops are not stressed out at all with this crazy temperature changes, so that's kind of nice. Let's see. One Bright Light. She says, how much alfalfa pellets do you feed a day? I'm surprised it lasts you a whole month. Maybe I'm overfeeding. I only use a 2-cup scoop, and they get it twice a day. So alfalfa pellets will expand 4 times as much as their size. And I did a video, I don't know if you saw just recently, I did a comparison between Stanley and I can't remember the other name of it. Oh, I'm sorry. As far as quality. And yeah, that lasts us just a 2-cup scoop, just like a scoop this high, and let it soak for like 4 or 5 hours. Let it fluff up. Never ever feed it without soaking it, because it does expand and it can cause choke. So definitely make sure you're careful with that. Let's see, where are my chopped alfalfa? Okay, so 1 bag, and I'll put a picture of that in it. So like I said, I just put like 2 things. I stumbled upon it, and one other draft horse group started using it, so I started using it, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So just for feed alone, bag of feed is $27. Alfalfa pellets for $32 is for 1 month, and then the chopped hay lasts for 2 weeks. A big 50-pound bag lasts for 2 weeks. So total monthly feed expenses is $180. So that's not hay. Hay is another totally different idea. All right, let's see what we have. Oh, really? You feed some to you? Oh, he says he ferments some and feeds the rest for the chickens. It's very good for chickens too. Exactly. Because the prebiotics and the fermentation process creates all sorts of healthy bacteria. It's very good. A lot of people will take like oats or like whatever feed and ferment it on their own. And it's very, very healthy for chickens. Very healthy. Okay. So our hay. Gotta love it. Our hay. Our hay we bought early in the spring, and we've bought 200 bales at $8 a bale. And they are eating 1 bale, full bale a day, each one of them. So you figure that's $8 a bale times 30 days. Monthly hay expense is $240 for 1 horse. Not for 2, 1. and I'm running out there eating so much of it right now because I usually don't ever use fescue, and they are eating all of it. It's the craziest thing. I've found Timothy, I've used Orchard, I've used Timothy Orchard, I've used Alfalfa, I've used Teff, I've used Coastal. I have tried all sorts of combinations of all sorts of hay, and I have really avoided fescue for the longest time. I gave them fescue. They're fat. They're happy. Okay. Okay. That's the way I look at it. All right, let's see. I also started giving the chickens beans. I put it in a pot and let it soak. They get big and fat. Yeah, the beans are good too. Yeah. Thank you, Lori, for asking. I will put up the banner one more time. There's 2 different ways. You can donate through our PayPal account, and that is 15 hands tack. That goes directly into the nonprofit. And you can also send a check. We've had some people send a check to our PO box too, and that goes directly into the bank as well. Yeah, so that would probably be the best way. We have Cash App and we have Venmo too, so if you need that, I can put that up there, but a lot of people haven't been using it. They don't seem to want it. I don't know. Okay, so now we have total expenses. Here we go. Food and hay and everything. $420 for feed, hay, and farriers every 4 weeks for these guys. It's different for other horses because some horses, they just eat just like a little half a can of stuff and they're fat. These guys, I use the 3 scoops, the 3-quart scoops, and they get 3 of those twice a day. So they get 6. And since I feed by weight, they get 15 pounds of grain on top of their 45 pounds of hay. And they get the oats, which is like 2 cups of oats. I didn't put that in there because that's just kind of like there. We can always do without it. But we feed Friday 2% of his body weight every day in forage. So between grain and hay and everything, they need to eat 2% of their body weight. Because Monday is so skinny and so little, he gets 3%. So it kind of works out exactly the same. Friday is 1,800 pounds and Monday is 1,500 pounds. But because Friday is not eating as much and Monday is, it works out exactly the same. So each one of them get 15 to 17 pounds of grain and alfalfa roughage and alfalfa pellets that's soaked, of course. And then, of course, it makes a mash out of it so they can eat it because both of them don't have any teeth. So that's how much it costs every month. $420 just for one draft horse. So that's a lot of fun. So the donations that we get go straight to all of this stuff. Hay, grain, everything. So I have yammered for 43 minutes. And money order, yeah, you could do money order, just mail it. Where is it? Oh, it's our banner. Hold on. If you could do a postal money order, that would be great because that's a lot better. There's our address right there. And you can just send it to our PO box. That would be awesome, Lori. You're amazing. Every little bit counts. And that doesn't even include bags of treats, carrots, apples, Mrs. Pasture's treats for horses, or the Do More cookies or whatever. We have that too. So, okay, I'm going to open this up for the next, 15 minutes because I have a hard stop at 8 o'clock because I've got to jump onto Curmudge Inn's live feed. And hopefully, I don't know if I have a link for that yet. You'll have to email that to me, Rob. So I have it so I can publish it and let me know, or just put it in the little comments thing and I'll put it up here. So what other questions do you guys have? This was a lot of information, I will put this up for you. Oh, I was actually going to do something. There was something I wanted to do. I wanted to poll. I can't remember what it was that I was going to do. I was going to give away something. I don't remember what it was that I was going to give away. Oh, well. I'll have to wait until the next live feed, and I'll do it on YouTube because I can do polls on YouTube. I can't do it on StreamYard because I don't pay for it. So I have to use the free version of it. Oh, I gotcha. All right. He says he can't post a link, but I got it. I just got the text message. Thank you, Rob. I will, let's see. Let's see how I can do this here. Well, if anybody, I'm sure he's already got this put in. His link. Well, I don't want to get off camera here. I wonder, will it continue? Oh, okay, good. Even though I'm off the tab, my camera is still going. So let me do this. There's Rob. Come on. There we are. Let's see. Oops, copy. Copy link. All right. Oh my, that's really long. Well, it's in the chat. It's really super long. Oh my gosh. I think you guys, yeah, see? It's in the chat. Copy and paste. I think that's the rest of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And hopefully we can see you over there. That would be really kind of cool. That's too funny. New Year's Day live open mic. That's what it looks like. Is that a smaller one? Oh, it's Danielle. Danielle Summerfield. Lori asks what my first name. You're not wild and crazy. It's Danielle Summerfield. And you can choose it with one L or two. It'll still get to me. So any other, it was a long one. Yeah. So if you're gonna come, you can copy and paste it, or we could try this. Here's another way. Let's go on YouTube. I'm going on my other thing here. Into my, let's see, subscriptions. Where's my subscriptions? There they are. And betcha. Curmudgeon, where are you? Where are you in my little subscriptions thing? I want to see the latest. I want to see everybody. Let's see. Right side. Oh, there you are. Curmudge Inn. And live. Let's see. And this one. Share. Copy. And paste. There. There you guys. There's a smaller version of it. It's right here. That'll bring you straight to his YouTube channel. So it's the Curmudge Inn, and he's pretty cool. It'll be fun. We're going to talk about living in Alaska, and I have no idea what he's got planned. So it should be fun. You're welcome. You're welcome, Rob. It is my pleasure. Oh, my mother's here. She said, "Why can't you comment on my feed?" She says she can't comment on my feed, but hello. She says hello to everybody. Hi, Mom. Hi. But Friday is doing good. Monday is doing fantastic. Friday is he? Oh my gosh. Oh, what was it? Oh, hold on. I got something to show you guys. Oh, I'm so glad I almost forgot. All right, I got something to show you. I'm glad I didn't forget about it. I would have been really upset. So we were talking about bots, right? When we were talking about the bot eggs, and Lori says hi. Is we were talking about the bots over at the chestnut area, and check this out. Let me see if I can put a light on it. Check that out. That is a chestnut. That came off of Monday. So it sat like this on him, and it had grown that far out off of his leg. Check it out. Check it. Isn't that neat? It's like all different layers, and it's just dry. But look how it grows. Isn't that neat? And it's very light. And isn't that cool? So I had to show it to you because when Rob went to pull up the farrier, went to pull up his leg, sometimes what people do is they grab this chestnut and they twist it. Why? I don't know. It's got to hurt, which is why they pick their legs up. So don't cause your horse pain. He twisted it and it does fall off on its own. So one bright light, it came off because the farrier had twisted it and it was ready to fall off anyway. You see how dry it is right there? See how dry it is? It's like a callus, but you see how it's got layers? So it grows and then it grows another layer and another layer and another layer. And eventually it just falls off and then it's flat and then it just keeps on growing. Now, these are the ones that are up on their forelegs. Usually chestnuts are on their forelegs. And the ones on the back, sorry, came out of my pocket. Pocket lint. The ones on the back of the legs are called ergots. And ergots grow a little bit differently than chestnuts. But isn't that neat? And some people say these are scent glands because it does smell a little bit. There's a lot of folklore about these where if you carry one, some people say if you carry a chestnut out into a pasture, you can catch a hard to catch horse because now if this was a scent gland, then you smell like a horse. I don't know. The way I look at it is if you're holding something like this, it looks like a treat and they're going to come to you. So that's my thoughts on that idea. Some of the Native American Indians, they used to, put string and hang them around their neck for good luck. I don't know. It's not that lovely smelling. It's got a terrible, terrible smell to it. Ooh. It's very musty. Kind of old book type smelling. It's very potent. I mean, I can't get it to any farther than that. But anyway, I saved this for you guys. I have another show and tell later, but the next time that we do this, I want to do something like this for you. That was kind of neat. So I'm glad I didn't forget about that. Isn't that cool? It is neat. I don't know if it's painful. One bright light. I don't think it's painful. I think it just kind of peels off like a, kind of like a callus, I guess, because this just breaks off, it's not very solid. Yeah. I'll put it up on eBay for $1 million. Let's see who wants this. I mean, this is going to be pretty big. I mean, it's good 2 inches long because each segment of your finger is an inch. So it's about 2 inches long. No, I think what I'll probably do is if this is good luck, I'm putting it in my plant. I have an avocado plant and it always dies in the wintertime. So no donations. No. But anyway, I'm glad I didn't forget about that. I wanted to show it to you. I figured you guys would get a kick out of it. And like I said, I have another something I want to show you that is really pretty kick butt that you guys will never see ever probably again. That'll be the next time I do a live feed. I think what I'll do is I'll start to find a show and tell thing for you guys. I can't show you Darcy's bones because I gave them to the veterinarian. So people who know Darcy and his ring bone, how he had really bad ring bone, I donated both of his legs to the veterinarian so he could use them as instructional pieces for other people that have been diagnosed for ring bone, so they can see what it looks like when it progresses really bad. So apparently it's been very helpful. So, all right, you guys. Well, if anybody doesn't have any other comments, we're going to wrap this up. And I'm going to jump over to Curmudge Inn. I'm sure he's probably on his way over there now. He's got to get his stuff set up. He'll be live in about another 5 minutes. And yeah, I appreciate it. So if you guys have any questions at all, our email address is sfdhorses@gmail.com or summerfieldfarmdrafts@hotmail.com. That's where we are. That is us. It is sfdhorses.com, and that is our website. And of course, we are on Facebook as always. And yeah, so I appreciate you all coming. I really do. And I'm glad you got to stick around to see this chestnut. And we'll catch you on another time. Send me an email if you want any other questions, or you want me to review something, or you have a topic you want me to talk about. And we'll do that because I want to try to make this a weekly thing. So you guys can stay in touch with me, and maybe it won't be so cold next time, and I can do it in the barn, and you can see Monday. So I'll talk to you guys later. I appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. It was great to see you guys. Happy New Year. Let's make this a crazy 2024, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.